Have you been drinking the same coffee for so long that you can't even taste it anymore? Are you tired of spending $15 on a bag of coffee that you don't even like? Then this coffee show is for you. Welcome to the Bracketology of Coffee, the Season 1 finale. The day has finally arrived, our final matchup of the season. And these are two of my favorite coffees. They definitely earned their way to the finals. Let me introduce them to you. First of all, we have Starbucks Bright Sky Blend, really delicious coffee, versus Breakfast Blend by Green Mountain Coffee Roasters. Let me give you a little bit of information about the two. First off, we have Starbucks, the Bright Sky Blend. Their origin is Latin America. See if I can get that in the camera a little better. There we go. 12 ounces goes for about $9. It's a light roast, and they ranked 4th in my brackets. Next up, the Breakfast Blend by Green Mountain. Another delicious coffee. The origin is Central America and Indonesia. 12 ounces goes for about $7.50. It's a light roast, and they ranked 7th in my brackets. So this is how we do it. I prepare both coffees in a French press. The recipe I use is 1 tablespoon of coffee grounds to every 5 ounces of water. I steep it for 4 minutes, and they get scored in the first half and in the second half. First half, I drink them both black, fresh out of the French press. And in the second half, I add a little bit of a cream, which tends to change the flavor a bit, and they get scored again. Both rounds, they'll get scored out of 100. And then we will tally up the results and see who wins the final matchup for Season 1. Who's going to take the crown for Season 1? Stick around to find out. I'm going to go make the coffees right now, and I'll be right back. Alright, coffee's been steeped for 4 minutes and we are ready to go. Just 2 quick footnotes before we get started. I wanted to mention that this is just an informal coffee tasting. I'm not a super taster. I consider myself just an average taster. What I'm looking for in coffee, besides I clearly am drawn towards the lighter roast of coffee, what I look for is drinkability. And what I've learned that my definition of drinkability is something that's smooth and flavorful with a pleasing aftertaste. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm going to put some coffee tips on the screen for you. And let's get started with this first half competition. I'm going to taste them twice. The first taste, I just get an overview. And then on the second taste, I'll give them a score. So let's get started with the Bright Sky Blend by Starbucks. There we go. Just as delicious as I remember it. One thing I love about putting the coffees head to head is that both of these coffees taste awesome to me individually, but putting them head to head, I can kind of compare and contrast. One of them will come out on top. I'm convinced of it. So let's start by tasting the Green Mountain here. Get a quick overview. Yeah, that one's great as well. They're very similar, actually. This is going to be a tough one for me to score. Let me taste them again, give them a score, and then we'll move on to the second half. Yeah, on that second taste, a number kind of popped into my mind. I'm going with a 93 for Starbucks. Now the Green Mountain, let's give them a score. Man, I've been so nervous about this final matchup for a couple of days now. This is really tough. um, yeah, I don't even know what to say. I think I'm stumped. I'm going to give them a 93 as well. The Green Mountain is a bit different. It's got a really great smell to it, and it's got a great taste as well, but the smell definitely enhances it. And I'm convinced that comes out because it's a light roast. Different flavors and different smells come out. The Starbucks smells great as well, but there's something very unique about that Green Mountain smell. So let me add a little bit of half and half to both of these coffees, and I'll be right back for the second half of this competition. Thanks for watching. Welcome back to the second half of this competition. We are going to start with Starbucks again. The Bright Sky Blend, I've added just a little bit of half and half, which tends to change the flavor, usually for the better. Same thing, I'll taste them twice, score them on the second taste. So here we go. Starbucks Bright Sky Blend. Yeah, on their packaging they claim to be mild and nutty as the description of the coffee, and the nuttiness is, the cream brings out the nuttiness quite a bit. I can taste that. So, now for the Green Mountain. Yeah, they don't have that nutty characteristic that Starbucks has. They have different characteristics altogether. They're both awesome. Man, this is going to be really hard. Here we go. Starbucks. I'm going to give them a score. Yeah, same thing. As I drank it, a number popped into my mind, and I've got to go with it. 96. So some of you have seen the previous rounds, and you're probably wondering, why would I even score them again if I've already scored them once? But this is my philosophy. That's why I set it up as a bracket, because tasting coffees head-to-head, in my mind, is the only way to do it. And to taste them with cream and without cream, it's just the only way to do it, is to get a good comparison and contrast. You've got to taste them both ways. You've got to taste them side by side. For instance, today I haven't eaten lunch yet, so I'm a little bit hungry. So how does that change the way I taste them? I'm not really sure. But when I taste them both together head to head on the same day, it eliminates all of those variables. So that's why we do it this way. It makes for a fun competition. I have season 2 coffees already set up. I'll show you those brackets at the end of this film. And now let's taste this Green Mountain. Yep, I'm going to give them a 95. Give me a second to tally the results, and we'll be back to declare a grand champion for Season 1. We are back to determine a winner of Season 1. First off, we have Starbucks Bright Sky Blend. They scored a 93 in the first half, 96 in the second half, for a total of 189. And Green Mountain. They scored a 93 in the first half, 95 in the second half, for a total of 188. Our champion for Season 1, Starbucks Bright Sky Blend. the little bit of nuttiness in the little bit of nuttiness that I got on my palate as I drank the coffee, it was kind of like a little bit of an aftertaste is what won that for them. So this was an awesome season. Found 2 great coffees. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for season 2, and I appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time.